Hello and welcome to the Delirium engine, where spoon clanks aren't the only thing we trade in.
I'm not sure that came through.
Turns out I also don't know how to make a decent cup of tea, because I seem to crossbreed it with coffee. As per usual, I am with my co-host, the Spartan.
Yes.
And we once again are doing the Let's Module series. We are on episode 3 of Let's Module.
Oh boy, we're getting there.
You excited? How have you been enjoying this series so far, making them?
It's been fun.
It's been fun?
It is
Scale of
been
1 to 10, what do you think?
Solid 8, 8.5.
8.5? That is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
That sounds like we're really into it. And actually we
I'm
are.
pretty into
I
it.
found that this series is more interesting to do because I don't know what we're doing than the previous ones. Like the first series when we're doing like rules for GMs and rules for players, like
Yeah.
I really like those ones. Character and enter setting, they were good. I think they were decent ideas, but I don't think we nailed it. Something about it, like we got some nuggets of information, but I don't think it was as entertaining as it could have been.
Yeah.
And I don't think we were really too into it. Like we were sort of into it, but like,
It was kind of just the day-to-day.
yeah, it was just a thing,
Yeah.
right? And whatever. But this Let's Module is actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We've been enjoying ourselves quite immensely. If you haven't seen Sink the Lustrina or the Skeleton Solstice, you should check them out. They're pretty fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Or listen to, at least. Put them on in the background when you're playing some game. Because that's really the way that these radio shows work, I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You don't really need the
hey,
visuals.
well, actually, you know what's interesting? Fun fact. I think I looked at it the day after we did this.
Oh.
And our viewership was up like 600%. It was pretty
So
amazing.
We have 6 views?
We had 3 when I looked. Let's see what we got now. 3 views. We still got 3. Feels good though.
Yeah, we get that.
And you know what?
6 days ago.
Somebody watched all of our videos. So whoever did that, because now everything's got 1, 2, or 3 views. And it was like, ooh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, numbers aren't important. Who gives a shit about numbers?
We still care about you, though. Even though we say we don't give a shit. We do still care.
We care about the viewer, whoever's watching us, but like the actual numbers in aggregate, who cares about the numbers in aggregate? Like if it becomes a scorecard or something, whatever. It's just, it is a nice indicator of how entertaining it is. And it was like, the last series I think had 0 views for like 6 episodes straight.
Yeah.
So, you know, that tells you something.
It's a slight indicator.
But then again, maybe that was, I think it might have been the 10 subs party.
Just threw it all out of whack.
Well, I think YouTube...
Pissed off YouTube.
I think we pissed off YouTube. And maybe this was finally, it finally kind of ended or whatever, but something about sticking hooks through breasts is probably not a good idea.
Yeah, we should definitely keep bringing that up.
You know what? Maybe...
Multiple weeks in a row.
Oh, we? Was that...
That was last week as well.
Oh, I did that too? Okay, well...
Yeah.
Okay, then let's stop. let's never bring up the 10 subs party again. It was amazing. It is what spawned the current backdrop and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
We got that idea. Maybe not the foreground, because we didn't have that yet. We didn't have like the animated dudes.
I wasn't there either.
Yeah.
I missed the 10
Which is
subs
good. I'm
party.
glad that Mr. Dagwood hasn't shown up, because I haven't finished his animated character. So
Well,
it's just like a non-animated thing.
To be fair, he hasn't shown up.
That is fair.
So he hasn't earned that animation yet.
That's true. And we keep messaging him. We're like, are you showing up? And he keeps saying, yeah, I'll totally be there. He doesn't show up. That's okay. Because we're doing pretty good right now.
Yep.
So anyway.
Life happens.
Now that we've burned like 4 minutes in nothing, let's take a quick look at what we were doing. We did the Sink the Lustrina and the Skeleton Solstice. So once again, like I had mentioned before, we have to build a session that somehow connects with one of the other sessions. It doesn't have to be the last one, but one of the other sessions that we've already done.
Yeah.
So they all have to interconnect in some way. So, you know, in the end, what you end up creating is a sort of setting.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Build a world.
Yeah, we're sort of building a world one session at a time. Mr. the Spartan, do you have any ideas on what you liked from the last one or the one before that we haven't touched on yet? So I think last time we attacked
the Switzerland.
Prail? What was the name of the... Let's take a quick look.
Port
We went off
Port
Vrail.
Vrail.
V-Rail.
Yeah.
So I'll just look at Sink the Lustrina again. That one was pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah, so we
fun.
had Port Vrail. We built Mr. Shadow, Gelberg, Jalk, Goulash, Captain Craig, Gunner, Mistress. Yeah, all the Lustrina. So what? Is there anything that you really liked from the last one that you want to attack this time?
I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff in the last one. It's hard to pick.
Or maybe you want to go back into the Skeleton Solstice and grab something from there.
Well, how about you? I kind of started off the last one. What are you thinking?
You know what kind of grabs my attention?
Yeah.
The Khans of Mong.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I like that. That's a good.
Khans of Mong make me smile. I kind of like those guys.
The Ghoul City.
Yeah, this weird sort of country of ghouls. Well, they're not really ghouls. It's like there's all sorts of people, but it's run by ghouls.
Yeah.
And yeah, and like the nobility is kind of like they extend their lives by being ghouls, because ghouls are like this weird sort of undead, I guess, that
Eat people.
That eat people.
Yeah. Okay. What's wrong with it?
Wasn't there like a horror movie? No, it was an episode of Masters of Horror. Washingtonians were all ghouls. They were all like cannibals that worship George Washington because he was a cannibal.
Was he?
Not, I don't think.
I
really.
don't think
not
so.
really, but in the horror movie storyline, he was a ghoul.
Okay.
Okay, well,
that's neat.
All right, so we're gonna latch onto the Khans of Mong.
Yep. Here we go.
The Khans of Mong. All right, so let's see here. Anything interesting happened this week that we need to think about, or maybe do we want to continue with this like idea of the Civil War brewing?
Yeah.
Or do we want to do something slightly different? Go backwards, forwards? Like, do we want to keep this narrative going? What do you think?
Civil Wars are fun.
Well, it's not a civil war, sorry. It's a war between these two countries. What was it, Mong and not Sweden?
Okay, straight up wars.
Yeah.
Could be fun. Though I am all about
we could
anyway,
make it like
so.
real gross.
A real nasty war.
No, but like, well, we could do the war thing. But I was thinking like maybe. Well, let's see here.
What do you mean by gross?
Well, like, this is a country run by ghouls, right? So this is not a good people country. This isn't a nice place. So maybe we should make it almost like a vile game. Like push the idea of, making it pretty edgy, like 18 plus kind of edgy.
Okay.
Maybe not nudity, but like there's all sorts of themes and stuff that might not be, kid friendly.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we push the idea of what a nation of ghouls run by ghouls might be like? Obviously you have no concern for human life.
No.
So, let's start taking some notes here. Maybe that's what we'll do.
Okay.
So we'll take some notes here. The Khans of Mong. Okay. We'll put some notes here. So a couple things. They would have no concern for human life. Maybe, just to add to it, because this has got this sort of Asian theme, right? Why don't we take it like some sort of Japanese style ethic, like code of honor ethics, like the Bushido almost.
Okay. So
vassal, like
samurai stuff.
Yeah, samurai, because they didn't give a shit about their lives either. Like they would just kill themselves off, right? So instead of killing yourself, it's just like, no, I give myself to my lord. In that, it's time to eat you. A bad vassal gets eaten.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I probably wrote Bushido wrong. Did I? B-U... Oh, it's capital. Yeah, but bad vassals get eaten. Alright, that's pretty cool.
So don't be a bad vassal. You don't get eaten. We'll
just do that. Yeah, the whole thing where it's like, you grovel towards lords, sort of like the Japan peasant, aristocracy kind of thing, where it's like, it's the aristocracy goes by and the peasants have to bow.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So it's like. Brutal. I'm just gonna put the word brutal. Bushido, bad vessels. Bushido, bad vessels get eaten. What else we got going on here, do you think?
Well, if we're gonna stick with like a Japanese.
Well, we're going
style.
Asian, right? Like, so, maybe it's.
Well, there's many different styles in Asia.
Well, let's grab the worst elements of all of them.
All right.
And try to make them fit. Like, things that, probably we would deal with things like death and cannibalism. So, like, that's why the first thing I thought of was, this no concern for human life. Well, obviously, that's a thing that was pretty prevalent in Japan, as far as I understood. Like, that was like, oh, you did bad? I'll sharpen my sword on a peasant's head. That kind of nonsense. Now, obviously, this wasn't the everyday, people are all monsters. But, like, that's...
There was a few rough ones.
I'm sure there was, these stories didn't come from nowhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we'll come up with them as we go, right? Like, it's not that important. That we figure that out. We do have an idea.
The whole death before dishonor thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. We're at Docks, Canada.
It's not like we haven't done that how many times already?
Times. We should probably just... Well, I think everybody who watches the show kind of knows our names anyway. So.
Yeah.
Really, the only reason we use the fancy names is just because it's almost like YouTube-y tradition, and we've just been following it. Okay, so we have an idea of what the Khans of Mong are like. Obviously, there are Khans, so there are multiple warlords.
Yeah.
So, multiple warlords... / clans. I guess, sort of, they're all fighting each other. All loosely fighting each other. Will always band together vs. outsiders. That's just their culture, right? So it's like if anybody invades, it's like they all get together. But if they're not, if they're left alone, they'll just cannibalize themselves. So
that fits.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
That's good.
Ooh. Cannibalism is illegal.
What?
Among peasants.
Oh, okay.
So, like...
It's gonna be like... That throws like half of what we just said out the window.
Ignoble ghouls, they would be called. They're a huge problem. You can't have the peasants being ghouls. That is...
Oh, okay.
That's monstrous. So,
of course, those filthy peasants.
yeah, they can't
be as
do
good as
something so
us.
disgusting as eating people. So that's super hypocrisy, but that's fine. They're evil. They can be hypocritical. Okay, so we've got this. Okay, we have this rough outline for like what the Khans of Mong are. So
this is fucking weird.
You don't like the Khans?
No, I like them, but they're just fucking weird.
All right, well, okay, that's good. We like weird here. It keeps things interesting.
It's true.
All right.
So what are we doing here in the land of the Khans of Mong?
I don't know. Let's figure this out. So
surviving.
Well, yeah, that could be it. Well, all right. So let's run under the assumption that these are not the same PCs.
Okay. These are new PCs.
Yeah, these are new, right? So because the other one, like, these could be the Skeleton Solstice PCs. They probably aren't the ones that sunk the Lustrina.
Yeah.
You know, because they're actors for another nation. So that should spawn a new campaign. You know, maybe we'll deal with that later. So this might be another one, some new thing, or like, welcome to Mong. come to Mong. This place.
Bow
is
before the Khans.
So why don't we say that the adventurers are imported? All right. So someone brings them in. Right. So let's say why don't we say a noble Khan brings in an elite force of outsiders to investigate.
Okay.
What do we want them to investigate? So I'm thinking like some ghoul lord will like some Khan will bring these guys in. They'll be like, hey, we can't act against the it's one of the scenarios. It's almost like the Sink the Lustrina.
It's the gray zone.
Yeah, it's that gray zone. Like there's only so many ways you can get random adventuring parties into things.
Yeah.
And this might work. Or
well, because when you said imports them, my brain immediately went to slavery.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want to like
maybe
why don't we...
this is how you get out of being slaves? We'll upgrade you to peasants.
Okay.
Or slightly above peasants.
Sure, okay. Noble Khan, instead of brings an elite force, let's say captures a bunch of slaves, which include the PCs. Okay.
Because if these are new guys, they're probably
so
low level.
this would mean like let's go with the what are we even calling it? The plot line. I'm gonna put plot in quotes again. So why don't we say barrier number 1 here, and we'll set this at like 10, because we'll have our line just be like, it'll start at like a crazy.
Oh, we're starting right at the top.
Starting right at a climax, right?
Okay.
So 10, Khan's attack, or like a slaving party.
Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders attack. In the night. With ghouls.
Oh. Bringing out the big guns already.
Well, so like, if we're doing this sort of samurai thing, like probably like actual like samurai like commanders and stuff would be ghouls as well.
Yeah.
So like you would have ghouls are so brutal in D&D and things like that. So like imagine a fully trained like warrior, like samurai warrior, who could just take off his glove and like scratch you in the face and you're paralyzed. Like,
damn.
That's horrible.
Yeah, no, that's horrible. That would be terrible.
Or like can bleed all over their sword so that when their sword hits you, you're paralyzed.
That'd be very rough.
Yeah, it'd be bad. So like this would be a difficult fight. And if you succeed, well, great, quest averted. Or you can actually that would be the thing. So say they succeed or fail. Right? So these are our choices. So they can probably succeed or fail at getting attacked by the Raiders. Obviously we'll run under the idea that the Raiders will win.
Yeah.
All right, because that's the thing. But if the PCs somehow manage to escape, or maybe some do escape and some don't.
Yeah.
Right?
It could be.
It could be a two-way kind of like road where they might have to communicate with each other and sort of find a way to escape or whatever. Right. So either this is going to be a revenge story. Where it's like, no, these slavers attacked us, and we beat the shit out of them, and they either retreated or we just killed them all, and now we just gotta deal with this.
Yeah.
Why don't we just say, I know. Here's the thing.
Well, with the death before dishonor thing, they probably wouldn't retreat.
Mongeese.
Mongeese?
Yeah. We'll call them the Mong. Do not take failure lightly.
Well, yeah, death before dishonor. You bring dishonor to my fucking house by failing.
Failure will result in force, in all-out force, if possible. Right? So, meaning, if you win, you have to deal with the problem.
Because they will come for you.
Yeah, because they're going to start going, okay, well, what the hell happened? They'll figure it out. You know, depending on how magical your setting is, you know, they might figure it out pretty quick.
Yeah.
And like, some Mongish Khan is not going to suffer some dudes wiping out one of his, like, slaving raiding parties, right? Like, this is not going to happen. So he's going to actually send some real troops against you and bring you down. Because, unless, you know, someone tougher shows up and then they'll back down. They go, oh, sorry, this was a mistake, and they'll have, you know, whatever happened. But for now, that's not what's going to happen. You guys are just adventuring dudes. You're getting attacked because they want to...
They want people.
They want
slaves.
to enslave you and eat you. Or eat you.
Yeah.
Depending on how you are. Okay. So, we'll start with, like, boom, 10. Raiders attack, roll initiative. So, escape or no.
Why do I recognize this song?
I don't know. What is this? This is like the Dungeon Synth archive that we're using. Oh god.
This doesn't sound like Dungeon though.
Yeah.
This is like Africa or something.
This is Africa Toto cover.
What? Why is this here?
Whatever. Whatever. Let's just roll with it, boys.
Okay.
So yeah, okay. You get captured by the ghouls or you escape. So I guess this is like, I guess we have to turn this into two routes. The capture route.
Oh, we're doing twin plotline.
And then
exploring new territory.
Yeah, why not? And then I guess the other one would be the conquest route, I guess. Right?
Okay.
So, in the conquest route is the one where you defeated the bandits attack, you know, raiders attack, roll initiative.
Yeah. So you win.
Yeah, you won, and in the captured route, you got captured, right?
Yeah.
So the captured route is probably more likely. So we'll just do the conquest route pretty quickly, you know. So we like, it's like a peak, and it'll go down pretty quick to like a 2, where it's like, you know, investigate, you know, who sent the attack, and you have to take down their Khan. Because they do not suffer defeat lightly. And if they refuse the quest, then the GM just says, okay, well, Khans are just going to keep sending you... that Khan of Mong is going to keep sending shit after you. And if you keep beating them, eventually, you know, the backstory will be he'll like, lose his whole... He'll lose his empire.
Because you basically wiped out his army.
Yeah, and his honor keeps getting destroyed because he keeps sending dudes after you, and he keeps failing and failing and failing.
Yeah.
And so all the other Khans are laughing at him. They're like, well, he's obviously weak enough that we'll just devour him. So they probably do. So that's a way to win, is just to ignore the problem and just constantly fight off whatever attacks. But those attacks will have to get pretty severe.
Yeah.
So
some big shit's gonna come down the pipe for you.
Yeah. So, you know... you know, go from like, you know, 5 to, you know, 11. You know.
Through the roof. Jeez.
Ignoring the problem. Results in attacks. Success against the attacks. Consistent success will result in the death of that Khan.
And the attacks
probably a reward from his rivals. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for dealing with all those guys. Made our job real easy.
Yeah. That was great. He kept sending all of his best men after you. So yeah, you conquer him, or if you go into his lands and take him out.
Yeah.
So the other one would be something like, you know, maybe as we get to 5, enter Mong, and the Khan's province.
Well, assassinate would probably be on another line.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking. So it gets to 7, pretty straightforward. Bust into his castle. And we'll add more to these probably as we go.
Yeah.
And then probably, back to 10 here is take down the Khan. And we'll give him a name probably later. So this would probably be what it is. And bust into his castle would probably be like a dungeon kind of scenario.
Castles are big.
Yeah. And then the Khan himself is,
He's gonna be rough.
He's probably pretty rough because he is a ghoul lord of some sort, probably with vassals who are also ghouls. Like this is probably, I would say this is probably a mid to high tier, party required. If you're gonna be like it, or the low level party would be the conquest, or not the conquest route, but the captured route, which would be something else. Like it would be more of like this would be the friendly route, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you guys are all shit kickers, you're gonna take the conquest route. But if you guys aren't, like if you're a social party or whatever, this will be the captured route is gonna be what's gonna end up becoming. Like you'll get captured, you get turned into slaves. Maybe you'll find your way
out somehow,
and we haven't gotten there yet because that's the whole point of this show.
To get there.
But yeah, okay. So this looks pretty good so far. Yeah, okay, so that's... Okay. That seems right. And then maybe escape Mong. This is like we'll call this one a 7. Because once you've killed the Khan, right? Like, whoever wants to take up his mantle, like, become the Khan or take the... is going to want to take you out as best that they can. So you have to escape Mong. And depending on how hurt you are after you took down the Khan, and once you've escaped, though, it'd be like, whatever. Leave him be.
Yeah. They made the opening for this to happen. Yeah. Then they got out.
Yeah,
it's whatever.
Whatever. It must have been a rival that sent assassins, and that rival's very competent. We don't know who it is, and we don't care because their loss is our gain.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever. We put our effort in. We don't have to. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Show their strength.
They won't keep coming forever because it's not that big a deal for them.
Yeah.
They made a token effort to attack to save.
Token effort.
Yeah.
Just kill the Khan. That's fine.
The Khan's dead. We tried to capture them. Obviously, they were so strong that they killed the Khan. The Khan was weak, whatever. And everything was disorganized. It
was just a shit.
No great honor is lost for losing the guys who killed the Khan. It's not that big a deal. Don't worry, boys. We'll get them next time.
Yep.
I wouldn't be assassinated by those guys.
No,
I'm
of course not.
You know how that goes. Okay, so
10 times the strength.
Yeah, so I think the conquest route's pretty good. I think I'll just copy we'll take the conquest route that way, and then we'll put this one up in the plot line here, just up at the top. Just ignoring it, it just means you set up endless, in further campaigns, you just throw whenever you need some sort of excitement, Mongish ghouls and
the Khan is returned.
Yeah, the Khan send more dudes to fight you because his honor depends on it. And the longer and worse you go, and maybe he'll intermingle with whatever villains that you have set up for the next games because it's like the Khans want these men dead. Cool stuff like that might happen. So that to me is
that's pretty good.
That'd be fun. I almost want the PCs to ignore it. And then the conquest route's like, okay, we have to deal with this, so this guy's gonna come after us again and again and again. He's gonna ratchet it up to 11. He's gonna start sending assassins and freaking ghoul shinobi and shit like that. It's gonna be bad.
There will be bumps in the night, and it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, we're gonna be crying ourselves to sleep. But if you're too much of a badass, you don't care. You do that. So we gotta get captured. Okay, so now that you're captured, okay. So you have to, let's not just say escape.
Yeah.
Alright, so I guess the first part would probably be, let's go with like a 1 or 2, right?
Yeah.
Suffer the slave pits. So figure out your shit. So you guys are slaves, you're going to be in the slave pits, we'll have to figure out what the slave pits are going to be like. Who's in the slave pits? This might actually be a pretty long one. This might be like a 2-parter.
Yeah.
Start with the slave pits. Figure out how to escape or who to talk to sort of raise yourself up in esteem. Clout amongst the nobility, I guess.
Yeah,
So like, we're gonna run the captured route as it's a sort of a, because you could always turn the captured route kind of into a conquest route. It's like, oh, we lost the first fight, but like, let's heal our wounds up, pick up some sticks, and if we're bad enough, we'll get out. You know?
Yeah.
You know, badasses aren't gonna stay in the goddamn thing long enough unless they're in chains or some shit. And if that's the case, then the GM will have to either figure some way out, or if he just wants to sit there torturing his party, I guess he's a shitty GM. You know.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there are slave pits, though, because I did just write that there are slave pits.
Yeah,
So I wonder what the slave pits are doing.
They're probably
What are
not.
they doing in these slave pits?
Well, the pretty ones probably deal with the nobility, and the workers probably do the mining or
Ooh,
whatever.
okay, yeah. All right, so let's split up. Tough guys dig holes in the pit. Pretty ones are
Servants.
servants.
Yes, there we go. Perfect.
My spelling's crap.
Mine's
Servants
worse,
of the
don't worry about
nobility. Smart ones are scribes. / teachers.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Because I don't know. I remember in the Greeks had lots of slaves who are tutors and stuff, so they become tutors for the kids.
Well, if you know things.
Yeah. We'll say tutors, not teachers. And they'll sort you out. You know, they get, yeah.
They'll figure it out.
And so the PC's there. They'll have to figure out, based on where you end up, what you can do. So this is another one. We'll go with like a 3 here. So this is where the sort of intrigue increases. You know, so they figure out how to escape, do it, and so that so assuming they don't just like, you know, they could crank it up to 10 and just fight their way out, or just bust their way out, right? Like that, you know.
Find a pickaxe or a shovel.
Okay. Yeah. So like you could.
A big stick goes good ways to beating people.
Yeah, assuming no escape, right? Because that's assuming they don't just leave, right?
Yeah.
Because if you just escape, if they just like find a way out and they all get together and they escape, then that's game. Good game, guys. You know,
Yeah,
get
you
your
did
character
it.
point / experience. You've escaped the slave pits, and so the probably the GM in this case would probably want to make section 1 probably the most. Probably have like 1 to 4. This would be like. I'll stick with that as a 4 as well. Suffering the slave pits would probably be you'd have to role play the rigmarole of being a slave and going through the day-to-day grind of whatever position you're in.
Yeah.
Obviously, the intelligent ones would not have too much trouble. The charismatic ones might have more trouble than others. It would become a lot of fade to black kind of scenes.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
It'd be pretty bad. And then also, yeah, the tough guys would probably end up digging holes and have to deal with people with whips and shit. Making them work. Yeah, or dig that hole. Stuff like that.
Yep.
And so the ability of the GM to sort of keep that somewhat interesting would be the testament to how good the GM is, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the key here would be giving the PCs hints on how to escape. And by hints, I mean just like, you know, as long as your descriptions somehow contain like some sort of foothold on escape. You know, a lazy guard, you know, the maybe the ghoul who's into the guy or girl who's charismatic, you know, maybe they've taken a shining to them, you know, whatever. Like it's stuff might start happening that gives them a chance to escape, you know.
options become available.
Yeah, give them options. Don't just
Yeah.
turn them into,
Slaves.
Yeah, don't cut the arms and legs off of your charismatic characters and turn them into gross like body pillows.
Yeah.
Don't just work your men. Like, don't chain up your tough guys in like endless chains that they can never break and just whip them to death while they dig. And then the scholars are basically, I don't know, surrounded by 100 guards at all times, and if they ever look at the kids the wrong way, they
Lose their head.
Yeah, they lose their hands or something. Like, we try to make it somewhat brutal, but don't make it so brutal that it's not fun. I guess that's the point. This isn't a horror movie, unless it is, I guess. But
yeah, well, if you're going that route.
yeah, so let's not do that. But this is a really I would say this is a quick note, but this is probably the one that will make or break this session.
Yeah.
Is suffer the slave pits. Everything else, like obviously the conquest route is pretty straightforward. It's combat.
You walk in,
your
beat the
PC's
shit
like
out
combat,
of them, walk
shit
out
happens,
again.
more combat.
Yeah.
But this is the one for people who don't fight. And yeah. So assuming they don't just escape. Because 1 to 4, if they just escape, they'll escape and so be it. Stuff will happen. They might have to do a combat. They might not. Whatever. And the combat probably isn't going to be that rough because it's the slave pits, right? They don't send entire armies to defend the slave pits. The whole point of them is that these people are slaves and they're chained up. You've escaped because you got a slick rogue and you're able to escape and all this other stuff. Or you've found some.
Yeah.
Let the PCs figure it out. Set up a scenario quickly or whatever. Set up a scenario, maybe set up a little map or whatever of what's kind of going on, and then they'll figure out and just be generous with is there a X, Y, or Z there? Maybe you'll say yes, maybe not, depending on how ridiculous it is, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, but assuming the PCs don't just escape, maybe we want to. So. They if they don't escape, they're gonna raise their clout amongst the nobility here. So the Khan, so they'll probably attain an audience with the Khan. I can't spell audience right because I'm terrible. Is that how you spell it?
I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah. So the PCs will get an audience with the Khan. For whatever reason, they will have, distinguish themselves either by working hard or killing slave masters and then working some more or whatever, right? They'll have done something that the Khan will be like, wow, you guys are pretty awesome. And PC, we'll put bracket S, because there might just be one guy who does it. Everybody else is just pretty mediocre. But the PC will... distinguish themselves. How do you spell distinguish?
I have no idea.
G-Y-S-H? Let's spelling. Distinguish. Alright. Distinguish themselves and earn an audience. Con. Here, the PC can make decisions as to how they will present themselves to the Khan. So, what I'm thinking here, this is just me rattling off an idea. So,
yeah,
you've got seneschals and all those sorts of people being like, okay, this is how we're going to dress you, this is our suggestion. You can say yes or no. Sort of try to figure out what you want to go with, right?
Yeah.
And so this would be an interesting situation where you might get your sense motive-y kind of characters and things like that, figuring out what seneschals, maybe you'll have 2 or 3 seneschals always giving different options, and one of them is trying to actually get you. One's ignorant, doesn't know what the Khan likes. One knows what the Khan likes but doesn't like you, and one doesn't know what the Khan likes but does like you, or something like that. You might end up with this sort of situation where you got to figure out what the right answer is, or you can make up your own answer. So if for whatever reason somebody figures out the one that doesn't like you and he's trying to make you look stupid, like give you things that the Khan obviously will
Not
find
like-
despicable. You could always just be like, no, but I would like the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, and you could find a way to do that. So this would be one of those situations. This is a social situation, or you could just like, no, I'll just pick my own shit and just ignore the whole thing, and that in itself would be another thing. This is probably why it's a 4, because this would be intense for people who gave a crap, but people who don't will make it like. He could fight with the Seneschals, not like in a physical combat, but the Seneschals could be like, seriously, you've got to do this correctly. And they're like, no, I just want to wear my loincloth, stuff like that. Like, this would be like, you'd be fighting a, quote, social battle with the Seneschals, and maybe they'd be fighting amongst themselves, so it'd be like a net negative. Like, nobody's going to be attacking you, forcing you to wear clothes that you don't like, or trying to convince you of wearing clothes that you don't like, but they might be constantly fighting with each other to get you to wear what you like. Mm-hmm. And, if you make friends with one of them, somehow, they might give you the right answers if they know what they're talking about. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I like the idea of 3 Seneschals. I don't know how to spell Seneschals because I'm an idiot. So 1 likes you. Or 1 is ignorant of what the Khan likes. One is knows what the Khan likes. But hates you. And one likes you, but doesn't really have insight into the Khan's tastes.
All right.
Let's say instead of ignorant of the Khan's taste, one is bad at his job. One knows what the Khan likes but hates you, and one likes you but doesn't really have insight into the Khan's tastes. Okay, so like he knows what like looks okay, but he doesn't really know what the Khan likes. Okay, and that might be an interesting way to go at it. All 3 though. Polite and charismatic. So like the idea here is that they all overtly look competent.
Yeah.
Right? They all look like they have good ideas. None of them are like, oh, this is trash. Nobody's like, dude, why don't you wear this cardboard box? They just give you ideas that are bad, right?
Yeah.
Like the one who's bad at his job, at least. One of them might give you a bad idea, or he'll agree with the one that's bad at his job and be like, oh, that's a good one. He makes a good point. But I would say do this, whatever. Sometimes,
Yeah.
Try to play them off each other. Make a couple of options for your players. This one would require a little bit of prep just to sort of figure out what the Khan might like and dislike, and then just, And if you want to be really finicky about it, maybe make it so it's difficult to tell them apart. Depending on how difficult you want to make it for your PCs, like you might get the whole like, oh, they all look the same syndrome because they're foreigners and so are you. You can't really figure it out, so you got to sort of sense motive, perception checks to see if you can figure out which one's which. Who knows? But like, be clever with the. I would say try to be clever with the way you present this one as well. But like, this would be a good sort of bit of time to sort of present yourself to the Khan, and then obviously we would say it would start getting pretty intense. Discussion with the Khan.
Okay.
So what do you think? Because you've just been sort of sitting here, and I've just been building this like this thing.
Good, yeah.
I've been on a bit of a roll, but like that's
been.
how these go. Like
I will let you roll.
Oh, you'll just let me go, eh?
When you're rolling good. It's good.
Let's rock the discussion with the Khan then. So
Okay.
based on your choices, determines Or I guess your choices determine, not based on your choices. Tour your...
Initial...
the cons. Demeanor towards you. Right? And so you can bring it back to parody. To parody. In various ways. Honestly, this will probably depend on how we build the con. So the con is going to have to be one of those NPCs that we make. Like, we have to make this con. And we have to, like...
He has to be...
He has to be, like, really tight. So even if we end up not getting the con totally finished, the GM, whoever the GM is, should probably make, like, 10 notes just for the con himself.
Yeah.
On, like, who he is, what his tastes are, what he likes, what he dislikes. And sort of... This would be how you can get the con in your favor. Like, even if you've done everything wrong up to this point, there might be a way to bring favor back to you from the con. Like, obviously, you're there for a reason.
Yeah,
so,
you've done something to earn this audience, so...
Yeah. You've distinguished yourself in some way. The con might be interested. Like, obviously, he's going to be... If you're a fighter, he's going to be interested in your warrior prowess. So maybe you just have to show off your warrior prowess even more. You know, and if you somehow get all the... Like, if you dress and act appropriately or whatever, you know, or present yourself appropriately, you might not have to do some of this stuff. You'll just have a very interesting conversation with the con. You can ask him all sorts of questions and things like that. Yeah. But if not, the con will start testing you more, so you'll have to do more intense things the more he dislikes you. So that's probably it. Your choice determines towards you. Bring it back to parry in various ways. He will test you with challenges based on why you're there. So, like, obviously, if you're like some seductress or whatever, and you've slept your way to the top, guess what, boys? We're fading to black, and we're gonna figure out why. But like, if you're a guy who just kills the crap out of his slavers and then kills the crap out of his soldiers, and it's like, dude, I just don't want to fight. I just don't want people whipping me anymore. You know, maybe he'll be like, okay, dude, you're pretty awesome. You know, why don't you join my team? But, you know, and if you present yourself badly, he'd be like, okay, listen, this is my champion here, or one of them. I want you to fight this guy, and if you can beat this guy, you know. Or if he kind of likes you, maybe it won't be his champion. It'll be like 2 or 3 like grunts. Yeah. And you could beat them up. He'll give you a sword or something. I don't know. He'll figure it out based on what the GM sort of decide. You know, how much he wants the guy to sweat. And, like, whatever. Like, you could figure your thing out. You know, if you're there as an expert teacher, maybe you'll have an intellectual conversation with the con about geography or something. Like, who knows? And he'll be like, ooh, you could be a good advisor for me. And in this way, you'll ingratiate yourself with the con, and then if it's you or if it's your party, he'll because the con is going to be multi-varied. Like, he'll have lots of interests, or at least he'll know a little bit of everything. Yeah. He'll have to, right? Like,
it's best to keep tabs on the people you work for you.
Yeah. So, you know, if the whole party gets involved, or maybe even if just one PC, let's assume one PC, because if everybody gets involved, great, that works great. But you can basically just say, yeah, bring out all my buddies. You know, they're all slaves too. Could you bring them all together? We work as a sort of a team. You know, and we'll work for you, or we just let us go, and maybe he'll let you go if you do a thing for him, or whatever.
Yeah, right? Earn your freedom, or however you want to roll it.
Yeah. Okay. Discussion with non-churches determine cause of meter, and yeah, based on why you were there, how you presented yourself. You know, harder the worse. Present and how you act with the con. And obviously you can just try to kill him there if you want. Yeah. You know, if you're a badass, say you're like some sort of crazy monk or whatever, and you can just murder him. Like, it'll just be a tough fight. Like, he'll have some guards with him. Like, it'll probably not be as bad as, like, say if you just ignored everything, because he's like there having dinner with you, right? Like, you're there to. With an audience.
Plead your case, basically.
Well, yeah, the way I was thinking was, like, because he would basically, like, you know, eat with you.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're a slave who's distinguished himself somehow. Like, yeah, he could just put you in front and have some guards chain you down, but like, I guess if you're just like murdering everybody like a maniac, yeah, he'll talk to you that way. But maybe even then he won't. Maybe then he'll just have tea with you, and someone will serve you tea, and you'll just be like, "Ah, you're a murderer. You're just a horrible person, aren't you?" Well, we have a whole country of horrible people, and we like those people here.
How would you like to join up?
Yeah, how would you like to join up? You know, we have use for killers in our society. We like those here. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, whatever kind of monster you are, I'm sure that the Khans of Mong can find a use for you.
Yeah, probably.
And that's probably something, that is probably something we will add to the notes, you know? Morality
is subjective.
Even the worst people have value in Mong. I guess in Mong. So like slavers and rapists and all those, like the worst kind of folk that you can possibly imagine. They'll be like, "You're good with us. As long as you don't act with dishonor." And by dishonor, I mean like, you know, dishonor your clan.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Don't bring dishonor to the house. You can act however you want.
Yeah, exactly. Like, obviously, these people are cannibals.
Just don't eat people, but you can eat people sometimes.
Well, if you're not allowed to eat people, you can. So... okay, so where are we? Why are you there? The president... Yeah, and he'll give you challenges based on why you're there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. And then, like, after all of that, he'll probably... that would probably be freedom, actually. Like, I think, you know... Well, I guess the next part would be the bargaining stage. So the capture route, it doesn't end in, like a climax, like a combat climax, right? Because this is almost like the capture route is almost like a lure for more adventure.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
like,
kind of setting up for additional stuff. We're actually working with the Khans.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess the next one would probably be like almost now that like the tenseness is gone, we probably bring it down to like a 2, right? And so this would be like negotiate your freedom. So if you've succeeded in this way and you're not just thrown back into the chain pits or whatever, like if you failed everything, if you fucked it up real bad, then you're going back into the chain pits. You got to figure your shit out again.
Yeah.
You got to start back, you know.
PC number 2 needs to
so
go.
That might be worth looking
together.
into. You know, failure results in going back to step 1. You know, going back to suffering the slave pits. And then, you know, I guess, like, you know, that would be an interesting, you know, you go back to suffering the slave pits, you know, new adventures would spark in its own way. You know, you'd have to find a way to distinguish yourself either in a different way or again.
Yep.
And it's like, wow, we bring you back, and eventually you'll get there. You'll figure out what the Khan likes, and you'll do that. And then, you know, and you'll have to go back through that. But once you get there, you can negotiate your freedom. And so this once again, you know, this would be where the GM sort of sets up
Future
new adventures
through the Khan,
or some sort of world goal or campaign goal for the Khan. And then and our let go. Set free, but like, or not, I guess. Dot or not. Like, it says or not, because like obviously these are valuable. He's like a valuable slave, and he has you in his power, right?
Yeah.
So you've impressed him. You've decided he's working for you, but like, I guess if you've distinguished yourself as like a slave, like assuming like let's assume like the most strange thing would be you're all like merchants and academics, right?
Okay.
So you negotiate your ways, like you guys are all expert teachers and stuff, and you can negotiate working for him. Like, why would he want to free you? Ever.
He wouldn't.
Yeah. He'd be like, okay, well, you guys are amazing teachers. You do great stuff. Like, I'm just going to make you all into amazing teachers and do great stuff. Like, you're all going to be...
You might get, like, personal freedoms, but you wouldn't really rise above slave.
Yeah. Unless he somehow made you guys into, like, vassals.
Yeah.
And that might be where it is, or, you know... Yeah, or I guess, or made into vassals, right? So, like, you'd become, like not slaves, but you become, like, free people who work for the Khan, like, loyal to the Khan.
Mm-hmm.
If you display their loyalty. Yeah, maybe that's a good thing to put. I like the idea of, like, the Khans, like, they're very liberal with freeing slaves, I guess. Like,
anyone can earn their freedom?
yeah, you could sort of, yeah, you can earn your freedom. Or slaves commonly earn their freedom by distinguishing themselves and by basically submitting themselves to loyalty to their Khan or whatever. Like, I guess it would be by becoming a vassal, I guess would be the word. Like, you're not a slave, you're not in chains,
you're not...
but you're saying you're loyal, like you're becoming
Yeah.
a citizen or a vassal of the Khan, right?
Yeah, alright. It works.
Yeah, that could be fun. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you can negotiate your freedom, because you're like, no, we don't want to be vassals, we've got, you know, we're knights of another kingdom, we don't want to start a war or whatever. Like, I don't know, you can find some way. PCs who are significantly charismatic will find a way to convince the Khan that it's a poor idea, or that it's worth his interest to have them not be vassals.
Yeah.
Right? And then if people are not, and they distinguish themselves in different ways, yeah, they become vassals of the Khan, and then new adventures spawn because the Khan sends you on new adventures, right? The GM will have to figure something out, because now you're vassals of the Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or you can just kill the Khan in his sleep or whatever. I don't know. You can find something. But, like, basically, long and short of it, the negotiate your freedom stage would be where how you direct the game from this point on.
Yeah.
So you discussion with the Khan is probably your climax in the captured route, right? And then in the conquest route, obviously, you're going to take down the Khan and all that stuff. You're going to sneak in,
get him off your back,
kick his ass. Yeah, whether you kill him or not, probably kill him, and you take him down, depending on how good you are at it. Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk NPCs, I guess, right? Like, I think that's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there's many in this, really.
You don't think so?
No, there's the Khan, of course.
Well, step one, the Khan. Okay, but 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so maybe we'll talk about the slave pits. And the palace.
Alright.
/ province.
So people just around.
Yeah. And let's go with 4 in the palace, 5 in the slave pits, and then the Khan. Right?
Okay.
And we might not meet all of them at any given time, and we'll figure out who the Khan is in a second. Alright. Alright, where are we here? What are we doing? We are... We might have to think about this one. Like, this one might be a two-parter.
I think we might have to do that, because we're going a bit more in-depth than we have for NPCs before.
Yeah. You know what? I think that's a good place to stop it. honestly, because like we're gonna attack the crap out of this, and we should probably attack the NPCs in the next sit down. Because I think we're an hour in now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually coming across exactly an hour in. Let's do the con. We'll do the con, and then we'll do the other NPCs later, and then we'll add to it as we go. How's that sound?
Okay.
So let's give the con a name.
Hmm.
So we named the previous one Goulash, right?
Yeah.
So that was like a fun ghoul parody or a ghoul pun, and it was like food based. So why don't we do
they
something
all have
similar?
that?
Well, why not for fun? Like,
Okay.
I'm thinking Ghoulic.
Gulick?
Yeah, like garlic.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have a game? Think of a name. What do you think? I've been on a roll like crazy. So.
You have been. You've taken this train on wild directions.
Yeah.
Was it a guy or a girl?
I don't know. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
8.
Oh, 10 girl. So
Okay.
I guess it's a lady. So the con is a girl. So okay. So the con is now a lady.
Okay. Ghouliza?
Ghouliza? What the hell? Ghouliza?
Like pizza? Oh. I had a lot of pizza recently.
So we're gonna name her after Pizza? Pizza the Ghoul?
Pizza the Hut. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's Giza. Just keep adding H's.
Giza the Con? Alright. What's your least favorite topping?
My least favorite topping?
Yeah.
It's basically anything that has heat. So
Anything that has heat?
yeah, my least favorite topping would probably be ghost peppers. Or whatever is worse than that.
Ghizza Flameghost. Why not that?
Okay.
Sounds like a fun name. We can extrapolate some weird shit from that. The con. A female ghoul, eh? Alright, so Ghizza the Flameghost. Okay, we have 10 notes that we have to talk about here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because we need to know a whole bunch of stuff about her.
We do.
So, why is she called the Flameghost? That's her family name, but what is it?
Has spirit powers? Maybe ancestral calling type of thing?
Ancestral calling? What about...
Like
stuff
summoning people from her past or something? Like great warriors that ran in the family or whatever?
How about she has a lineage to like a fire elemental?
Okay. That could work too.
Because and like that she can like
So fire powers.
yeah, her name becomes fire elemental lineage. She can evoke members of her family. Can evoke flame anima of some form.
Okay.
Hers is... What should hers be? Should she summon a dude, make a fire? Like, what kind of fire anima should she evoke?
Flameghost.
Heat.
Prob-
Well, the family name is Flameghost.
Yeah.
So like, we've already established why.
It should probably. Well, they'd all have something kind of similar, I guess. Maybe. Like maybe
Well,
something.
it's something
humanoid.
about fire, right? So
Yeah.
that's what the similarity is.
Okay, fair enough. Something that would dictate power, demote power.
Denote power, eh? Something that pretty much any freaking power is powerful.
Well,
But
yeah, but like, there's like a tiger made of fire, and then there's a crow made of fire.
oh, okay, I see. Well, we could always give her like a flame gaze.
Flame gaze? What do you mean, like burning eyeballs?
Well, maybe if she looks at you, you start heating up.
Okay. Yes.
You get hot and bothered just by her looking at you. It's pretty
Not-
that's pretty
not in a
feminine
good way.
and that's pretty powerful. No, not in a good way. Her gaze. When evoked properly, right? Not just her looking at her.
Yeah.
Raise. Not unlike a mag in the sun.
So eventually you'll burst into flames.
Yeah. If she just
Okay.
keeps if she just stares at you and defends, you'll slowly heat up. This is a person who could literally burn you with her eyes, with her gaze.
Okay.
So okay, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, that's pretty. All right, that's a good start here. Let's italic all this shit. Next. All right, let's give her.
What kind of land is the Mong? Like, is it a swampland, savannas?
Well, it's based
Forests.
on Mongolia, right? So wouldn't
Plains.
it be like plains
Lots
and
of
hills and plains?
hills, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's a series of probably hills and plains. I'm sure there's some variants here and there, and little things all over the place. Like
Yeah.
a little bit of desert, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's pretty expansive, I'm thinking, because Mongolia was pretty expansive.
At its height, yeah.
Yeah, well, we're not talking about crappy, kind of oppressed.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're oppressed, but you know what I mean. Like it's, Mongolia hasn't seen its heyday for a few thousand years.
It's been a while.
Yeah. I think it was a few thousand. Not
No,
thousand,
not that
a few
long.
hundred.
Couple hundred.
Yeah. Whatever. Mongolia was pretty badass. It's probably still badass.
Yeah.
They got the biggest dogs in the world. I know that. They're so cute. Like giant chow chows. We should put those dogs in there.
Yeah.
She has dogs.
Big fuck off dogs.
Huge dogs. She calls them puppies.
Name accordingly.
Yeah. Name accordingly. Yeah.
Alright.
Silence is the best radio. Okay, next. Well, we've got, well, what were you thinking about this geography, right? Like, you had an idea.
The geography is going to dictate kind of what they have
Okay.
in terms of
They
resources.
probably got horses, because I think that
Yeah.
was a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. So, like, this is, like, she probably goes riding.
Okay.
Goes riding every day. Loves horses. Do they ride horses? Maybe they ride anything. Maybe they ride dogs.
Giant dogs?
Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be horses. Anything big enough to hold a person could technically be ridden.
Yeah.
With varying degrees of success, of course, but... Maybe they have war dogs that they can ride? Like dire wolves or something?
Ooh, what we could do, maybe a lot of what the clan's distinctions between various nations are the things that they ride.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Like, that could be fun. Like,
Yeah, that's cool.
So,
I
yeah.
like that.
Okay. She loves horses, sometimes rides dogs. Yeah, okay, you know, her clan, we'll see, Ghizza's clan is dogs. Maybe she likes dogs. We'll go with dogs, right? Because we already got them. She likes puppies, so we got riding dogs.
Alright.
She goes riding a day. Clan is known for its riding dogs. Her symbol, banner, is a dog aflame, or a flame dog, not a dog that's on fire.
Okay, I can see that.
And then we'll probably make a note up here with the cons.
Clans distinguished by...
Love riding, and animals. Distinction comes from... I suck at spelling so bad. From what they ride.
No worse than I am, man.
Sometimes it's just like spelling mistakes. Like, not spelling mistakes, typos.
Yeah.
Distinct... Oh, I forgot the end. Okay. So yeah, she likes riding every day. She's got puppies. They got names. Rides her dogs. Her banner's a flame dog. Okay, so we've sort of turned this into one big thing.
Yeah.
So now we gotta add more. Alright. Next on our list. Weapon of choice. What do you think?
Weapon of choice.
What's your weapon of choice? Doesn't have to be an actual physical weapon.
True.
This will sort of determine what kind of a lady she is.
Well, what do you think? What is...
I don't know. Let me ask you. I've been on a huge roll.
You have been on a huge roll.
So, like, let's you do it. What strikes your fancy? When you hear the words Ghizza Flameghost, the Khan, you know, what,
I think a staff.
A staff. Ah, that's an interesting one. Weapon of choice. What kind of staff? And it doesn't do anything interesting.
Well, it could be just like a...
Or is it like a Tetsubo, like a big, huge, like, giant staff?
Well, no, I was thinking more wizard staff. Kind of
wizard staff.
Because her thing seems... She seems to be some sort of sorcerer / wizard person that rides dogs.
Okay, well, then she's probably a dabbling sorcerer. Well, okay, wait. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
2.
Oh, okay. She is... So 10 was the weakest. She is a powerful evoker. Or sorcerer. Sorceress. Well, maybe not sorceress, but a powerful magic user. Probably with a fire theme. Okay, so she values like wizardly and arcane powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Heavily values.
Alright.
Think she wants to become more than a ghoul? Powerful wizards want to do things. Think she wants to become a lich?
That would be the next step up, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I guess.
All right, maybe she seeks Lichdom. What do you think? She could be doing it in secret too, right?
I think she'd have to be doing it in secret because the other Khans would not stand for that.
Oh yeah.
Like they would come, they'd probably band together to come knocking on her fucking door.
Yeah, once that, you can't have Khans being fucking truly immortal. that's no good. Oh yeah, we can't actually kill you. Ooh, that might.
That's
not
a
be fun.
problem.
You're a powerful wizard. Yeah, that's gonna be rough. Witches are bad news. Bad news bears.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's a good point. You know what? Let's talk that. Let's put that in the cons section here. They do not like more powerful undead. Like, they do not like powerful immortal undead.
Yeah. Because they're supposed to be top dogs.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
AKA liches and vampires.
Well, vampires aren't really... Well, they are immortal, I guess.
Vampires are stronger than ghouls. By a lot.
Okay, fair enough.
And they are immortal, depending on your canon.
Yeah.
Like, they're pretty rough. Liches, vampires, mummies, like the whole thing. Any of those, no. We don't like those.
No.
Those are bad news. The other cons will immediately, like if you become one of those, they will start. I think they would sort of bandy together in the best way they can. Like
Start
they
knocking
really
on your
don't like
fucking door.
those.
Yeah.
In the same way that humans don't like vampires, ghouls don't like all of those guys. They're the top dogs. You become some sort of horrifying wraith, they want you dead. You're an abomination. You're inhuman.
But you already weren't human to begin with.
Well, ghouls you can argue, I guess, were some sort of or semi-human. Because the idea is they're supposed to get their powers just by being cannibals, basically. Like they're super cannibals. Right?
I guess.
They're kind of filthy and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't eat the meat.
Secretly seeks lichdom. Will not advertise this. But will work with PCs towards this end.
Yeah, they would be outside of...
Yeah. See, there you go. That might be the end, right?
That's something you'd have to find out, though. That'd be like sneaking into her fucking secret.
I'm curious why.
Whatever.
Maybe why she would seek lichdom. That might be a good question. What do you think? Why do you think she would want to be a lich? Like, obviously, power is a thing, but like, let's try to delve further. Like maybe.
But yeah, why would you risk
everything to do that?
It? That's
a good question.
It is a good question.
Let's figure out. Let's think of a reason.
Well, why does anyone want to be a lich? The immortality, basically, and the power.
Like, what else might there be? Like, what does lichdom offer other than like endless time, more powers, like more power?
You'd know liches better than I do. I've never encountered one.
I love them so much. I actually once wrote the World of Darkness, like book called Lich the Aggregation. So maybe we'll pull from there. I don't know. Let me think. Well, wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know why she would actually seek it, other than just raw power. True immortality. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she finds being a ghoul just distasteful.
She doesn't like being a ghoul.
She doesn't like eating people. She doesn't like eating. She doesn't like eating.
She just doesn't like eating, period.
Maybe, I don't know. That's actually kind of an Asian-y thing too, right? Like they have those mouth covers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe it's like really vain reasons. That might be really fun. Yeah. Okay.
WANT.
Yeah. It's this for vain reasons. Like, not endless beauty, but like take outward appearances to like the nth degree.
Yeah.
So hates being seen eating cats. You know, always covers face. Eating, drinking, you know, anything intimate, I guess would be the word. You know, like, because eating is an intimate act, drinking isn't, like, it's an act of weakness. It's like, my cup is now in my hand, like, I don't have a weapon.
Yeah.
You know, that.
All right, fair enough.
Anything intimate. She doesn't like any of that. Right?
Oh, what if...
I don't know what I've done here. I have...
Styles.
Click the styles.
Getting
button.
stylish.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Yeah, doing anything intimate. Yeah, this does not necessarily. Doesn't mean like bedding people or anything. This is like she doesn't want to be seen in a weak position ever. Hates being in a position of weakness. Will cover mouth when eating. Will only sip small sips. Will,
Yeah.
Cloister for any, like, yeah, nobody will, etc. We'll just say etc. If you ever do the seducing thing, you'd probably have to produce some sort of weird scenario where she doesn't, like, you'd basically be blindfolded or whatever. Like I don't know, but you'd have to set up some weird scenario where she never is at any sort of disadvantage. Like, there would never be a situation where you could seduce her and then kill her, while you're doing the dirty, right? Like, this is just one of her hang-ups.
Yeah.
Like, this would never happen. And one of the reasons why she probably wants to be a lich is so she never has to do any of these hang-ups. Like, all of it. Probably, and she's a woman too, right? So, like, she probably doesn't like any of the, like, the womanly shit that comes with that. So, like, that monthly thing that happens, any of that. All of that's no good. Hates it all. That's why we got to get rid of it. We got to become a powerful undead sorceress. Get rid of it all. It would, like, eschew all of my biological weaknesses. I've never have to eat. No pooping. Nothing. Perfect. Everything's gonna be great. I can finally get down to business and start shooting fire and defeat the other Khans.
Yep. All right. Sounds good.
And that's the reason. Yeah, she hates her biology. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. We'll just add that. Hates biology in general. Ooh, maybe she's a germaphobe.
Germaphobe?
Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah, no, that'd be insane for a fucking ghoul.
Yeah, she's a germaphobe. That would work too. Clean, like, she has, like, cleaners cleaning everything.
All the time.
And she cleanses things with fire. Heats things up, like, disinfects with her fire gaze.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do like that.
I love all these, like, things lead to another when you get on this. Mm-hmm. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah, so she doesn't like any of that shit. She's like a germaphobe.
What would she like, though? Like, we've already established she likes her dogs.
She likes puppies. Which is funny. Yeah, she likes dogs. She likes magic.
Yeah.
She uses a staff, so she doesn't like. So we've obviously assumed that she doesn't like. Okay, pick a number between 1 and 10.
3.
Okay, so 1, I said if you picked low, like 1, she's a hypocrite.
Okay.
Okay? So.
Mildly hypocritical.
So the thing she likes also goes along with the thing she dislikes. So, like, she's something biological. There's something biological that she likes.
Well, her dogs.
Well, yeah, obviously. So there's one thing, but, like, there's another thing that she likes. Maybe she likes some sort of food. She hates eating, but she likes certain foods.
Okay.
Or I don't know.
Maybe she
wants kids. She I don't know. I can't think of it. Like,
that's a womanly thing, right?
Yeah.
They want kids.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes no. This seems like a lady who probably wouldn't. But it's a hypocritical thing, right? Like, but that's the thing. So she's gonna be a hypocrite. So we gotta figure out why she's a hypocrite. If you like the kids idea, we could do that. Maybe she likes a certain food.
Desserts, sweet things.
Ooh, girls do like chocolate and stuff. Okay, yeah, she likes sweets. What kind of sweets?
Hard candies.
Hard candies. Okay, yeah, that works.
Okay.
That sounds good. So 3 more things.
3 more things.
What we got here? All right. What else does she like? Hobbies.
Hobbies.
What kind of hobbies might she have? Outside of being a wizard and burning things and being a germaphobe and liking candy. What does she do for fun?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Takes care of her dogs.
Yeah.
Eats candy. Sometimes.
Probably lots of it.
Probably quite a bit of it.
When she's alone.
Yes. Yes, absolutely when she's alone. This would be... That might be something, too, where it's like, she would give you candy. Like, this is... You know, when you meet her, she'd probably put, like, a candy dish on the table. Yeah. Offers candy to others. Never eats it in front of them. Okay. Okay, pick a number between 1 and 10.
10.
Okay. Nice. 10 was physical. So something that she likes some sort of physical activity.
Okay.
It's not like a home ec kind of thing. So it's just like something that's real, like...
Something physical.
Yeah. Running, swimming, martial arts, climbing, lumberjacking, foresting.
I kind of like swimming.
Swimmer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Likes water.
Oh, okay. Go swimming. Number between 1 and 10.
7.
Okay. So I said 1, she like leaves on her own, like escapes to go swimming. Like she just
disappears.
But no, she doesn't. Will often go swimming with an escort. The escort... Would swimming be considered intimate? No.
No?
No.
I'd almost say yes.
Well, she's not bathing. She's swimming.
What is swimming except basically bathing in a big pool?
Okay. I'll take that then. Sounds good to me. Just a second here. My music just stopped. It's probably YouTube saying, are you still watching this? Continue
Yes,
watching.
we are still.
Absolutely.
We are still listening, YouTube.
We'll often go swimming with an escort. Escort must look away when she's doing so.
It's a lot easier to kill somebody in water because it's harder to fight back.
She likes to heat the water. All right, next.
Hot tubs are great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's do hot springs. She'll say that there's hot springs. There are springs
They eventually
which she makes hot.
they eventually become hot when she's there.
She goes to that become hot as a result of her existence. So they're not hot springs. It's just springs.
Yeah.
Very Asian.
What about how she conducts herself, like in a leadership role?
Okay, that's a good one.
Like, is she very straightforward and political? Is she kind of aloof and free flowing? Because kind of have to get into there a little bit too.
I honestly, I kind of pictured her as like a Bella kind of figure. The chick from Black Lagoon, like the mafioso.
Yeah,
with the
Mekhalikhar.
scar.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I was picturing
So, okay. Yeah, no, that works.
this. Like
Very formal.
yeah. Probably with a pipe. Like she likes to smoke. Maybe. I don't know. Formal demeanor.
Yeah, pipe things are very, very Asiatic.
Yeah.
Like long.
Formal demeanor. Always has a pipe with her. WH, Jesus. And she smokes it. This would not be eating or anything. This is probably not considered an intimate affair. This is one of the few things she does that is not
Considered intimate.
yet considered intimate. Yeah, she smokes her pipe, taps it, does that whole like tapping it, puts more tobacco in, smokes it, maybe looks at the tobacco, it starts lighting up, that kind of thing. You can kind of get this can be a device to sort of get the PCs acquainted with what her powers are.
Mm-hmm.
Like what she kind of does. And she doesn't keep it secret, I'm sure.
Of course not. Flaunt it if you have it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not a secret. Formal demeanor, always has a pipe with her, and she smokes it. It's one of the few things she uses. Formal attire.
Yep. Formal attire can be up to the GM, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever they
Whatever
consider.
she thinks, whatever they think is good. However, they kind of want to envision this character.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, last one. She's a wizard. Spell of choice. What's her favorite spell? How does she attack? Because they got to fight her. Most scenarios, you're fighting this person.
Yeah. Well, it's probably gonna be your gaze.
Oh yeah, she'll gaze you, obviously, but she can do other things while looking at you.
Yeah. Elemental summoning?
Summon fire elemental? Okay. Attack of choice.
Like, wizards don't want to be the one fighting, so bring in other things to fight for you.
Attack of choice is summon fire elementals.
How militaristic is she?
I don't picture
Like-
her too militaristic. Like, she's obviously enough that she's a Khan, but
Yeah, like, but
How many people are going to be in that room? Like, does she have an escort of guards with her all the time, or does she just kind of walk around with maybe like one other dude, her escort?
I don't know. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
1.
Okay, she's always got 10 dudes around her at all times.
Oh fuck.
because I said 10 was 1. Super Soldier always has an honor guard. Roughly 10 guards of various types, whatever the GM thinks is okay to put against them.
Yep.
Wizards.
Okay.
So just a varying. She has a guard crew of 10 people based on whatever they're doing, whatever she's got with her. You guys can figure out what you guys like, whatever you want to use, whatever you haven't used in a while.
Cool.
GMs. So that works. Let's go through this just quickly, because and then we'll continue this one next week with part 2, and we'll attack all the other characters, and we'll see if we can get somewhere interesting with that. So, speaking of the Khans of Mong, it's a loose, warring states of various Khans fighting each other in various ways. Cannibalism is terribly illegal among the peasants. The nobility, obviously, it's okay. You have to earn the right to become a ghoul. And ignoble ghouls are hunted down with extreme prejudice. Death before dishonor is kind of the way of things in this, in at least the upper echelons of the culture.
Yeah.
Because, well, that's how it is. Life is there's no real concern for human life, especially among the peasants. You know, peasant life doesn't matter, and it's the nobility that matters. This is a sort of brutal thing. And so the GM should probably play this out in whatever way they can. This is like a sort of Bushido kind of thing. Vassals working for their khans, things like that. And failure is, well, punished fairly severely. You get put on the dinner plate. The Mong do not take failure lightly. Failure result with all-out force if possible. So if the Mong or Khans of Mong fail, if one of the Khans fails, they will try to save face by going, upping the ante. Yeah, until either face is saved or they are dead. This is, bad. Morality is obviously subjective. The Khans of Mong are fairly hypocritical, I think we've established in almost all things. But they don't mind. Everybody has a place in Mong. You could be the worst kind of person in the world and they'll find a place for you. Slaves, they don't mind raising slaves up to vassal status. This is not like a permanent position. If you're a slave, it's just for whatever reason you became a slave. They caught you riding around near Mong, or they just made an incursion into another country and just took some people and whatever. But you can become citizens of Mong and work for the vassal, or work and work as a slave. And if you distinguish yourself and become a cool guy, they'll make you a vassal. The Khans love riding animals. So they do not like scarier undead than ghouls. If you're spookier than a ghoul, they will hunt the shit out of you. Just the same way humans would hunt the shit out of people. Vampires in their castles, people won't like them either. The Khans want them dead.
Yep.
So the barriers that you will be throwing against your players will be, Raiders attack, roll initiative. So this slope is it starts at the peak and it kind of goes down and then raises up just a little bit at the bottom, But it's mostly a peak at the beginning of the game and then it's sort of a denouement. This session kind of will open the floodgates for future sessions. Is really what you're doing here.
This is the can opening.
Yeah. And depending on how they react to these situations, they will their future games will be better or worse. So Raiders will attack with a bunch of ghouls. They'll try to capture the PCs to try to make them slaves. If you just beat the shit out of them and ignore the problem, they're going to keep coming after you until the Khan is destroyed. So you're going to have to learn about Ghizza Flameghost here. If you take the conquest route, you're going to have to learn about her, who she is, why she's attacking you, and then go and enter Mong into Flameghost's province.
Yep.
I guess it would be Flameghost province. Right? And then burst into her castle. What do we want to name the castle?
Greyguard?
Castle Greyguard?
Yeah.
It's called Ashguard.
Oh,
The ash is gray.
that's better. Yeah.
And then take down the Khan. So take down Ghizza Flameghost and then escape Mong. You know.
However you will.
Yeah. She might actually have family too, you know.
Yeah. Looking
Chase
to
you to seek
jump
power.
the ranks.
Yeah. Vassals or other family. Will chase you. Will sort of chase you. They'll try to kill you. They won't try too hard. You know, they'll put like a 6 in effort into it. So yeah, if you get captured, you suffer the slave pits. Basically, you have to try to find a way to ingratiate yourselves into the society. And assuming you don't just escape, you will get an audience with the Khan. You can discuss with the Khan and negotiate your freedom and become vassals of the Khan. And then yeah, the Khan is Ghizza Flameghost. She is a pretty brutal lady. She has fire elemental blood in her, in addition to being some sort of horrible ghoul. She has big dogs, and she loves them very dearly. She calls them puppies. She's a real dog lover. She likes to go dog riding every day. She is a powerful magic user, so she is a wizard of some sort. So she probably has a library, is well versed in all this sort of magical arcanery. She is secretly working towards lichdom. This is a well-guarded secret. Nobody, probably not even her honor guard, knows that she's doing this.
Oh no, of course not.
So, but you know, this would be a good in if you can figure that out. Maybe that's something, if people are working in their library, they might have a lot of sort of necromantic hints to it, even though she seems to be a fairly profound evoker or summoner.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Hates being seen eating, drinking, doing anything intimate, anything that like would show weakness in some way. That's like, oh, I have biological functions. You know, nope. She doesn't like any of that. She tries to hide it in any way possible. She's a huge germaphobe. You know, anything that has to do with germs, she disinfects it. She hates it. She has people that'll come and clean her shit for her at all times. Yeah, but she loves candy, and she loves water and swimming. She loves to go swimming in the springs somewhere in the mountains.
Yep.
She'll go there quite often. This would probably be a good place to, if you learn about her, this would be a good place to attack her, regardless of what route you're taking. She's very formal, and she always keeps a pipe with her and smokes it, which is a good tell for what kind of the flame power thing. Mm-hmm. And yeah, she likes to summon fire elementals. If you start attacking her, be prepared to fight 10 of her royal guards, and then fight her, fight whatever fire elementals she summons. And the largesse of those fire elementals probably depends on how tough your party is and how much you want to hurt them real bad. I think that is a good start.
Uh-huh.
So I think we should name this. We should name this session. This is the Khans of Mong, but we will name this something else. Maybe that's what we'll just name it. We'll just name it the Khans of Mong. No, whatever.
Probably gonna.
We need to give this thing a name. Let's cap this off.
Oh.
This is like Raiders Attack, roll initiative. That's the name of the thing. I don't even know what we'd name this one.
No, it's a bit rough one.
Honestly, I would just call it the Khans of Mong.
It's only a con, though. Okay, that works better, yeah.
A brush with the Khans of Mong. There we go. Let's call it that. And... Okay. So we will save this.
Looks good.
Yeah, we'll save that in a bit.
Okay.
Alright then. I think that will cover it. We'll probably take up part 2 next week. We'll finish up the Khans of Mong.
Sounds good.
And we'll deal with those NPCs. This one's turning out to be pretty big. 2-parter. That's going to be 4 hours of just discussion about stuff.
Jeez, yeah, we're closing in on 2 hours already.
Yeah, 143. Considering at the 1 hour mark, we're like, let's put this to an end. Oh, we'll just finish the con.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, hopefully we'll put some similar effort into the other ones, and hopefully that'll work out.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you liked what you heard, sweet. Thanks for listening. If you like it, subscribe. Thank you for the Spartan for coming out.
As always.
And, yeah. I will post this on the Skunkworks on the cast forum, and I'll probably put a link down in the description for how to find it. Okay, so you guys all take care, and don't die.